This is Irontrader. This is Hump Day, which means this is Crude Day. Now, the API report came out last night, and crude had a nice draw of 8.1 million. Gasoline had a draw of 6.1 million, and distillates had a draw of 4.6 million. Cushing had a draw of 1.1. Now, remember, the EIA report will be out today at 10:30. We'll see it all confirms. Now, you can see what's happening is crude is just getting hammered here today. We'll take a look at the charts on WTI and the Brent. Because they say they have a possible deal going on here with Iran. So we got to see how that's all going to play out. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation advice on any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have WTI, here we have Brent. Now, again, you can see here we had this really nice, good uptrending situation, and then look at here, all the way on down with this big-ass red candle. Now, the key is, is this deal going to actually come through? They announced it last night, and I said, oh, man, I am out of the longs because now everything is going to be news-related kind of a situation. Now, I don't think oil is going to be come down here to no $60 time any soon here, but we have to see. Maybe T-Man came up with a deal here. We'll have to see. Now, again, what we want to watch is this 50 SMA here. This is going to be very, very key on a closing basis. Now, again, if this comes all the way down here and holds this, and all of a sudden say that deal doesn't go through, if there's more shootings or so whatever going to go on here, then this could rally up hard again here. Okay, so just remember, nothing is really solved here until it's actually solved. So this is what we're watching right here. Is it's 93.09. That's going to be very, very key level there. Then we'll come right down here to the bottom here, looking at 92.30 level. We'll come up top of there. You're looking at 89.60 level, and then we venture down here. We're at 87.64. And then we have this 85.50 level. Then we have this big retest down here at 78.97, and your 100 days right below that at 76.91. Now remember, we have the oil that's up in the 90s here. So in order to get it all the way down to the 60s and 50s, that's going to have to be a big time deal, some kind of a crushing situation going on here. Okay, so right here now on the upside, we're always watching is going to be watching that 21-day 96.32 if it gets right back up there. And then we can do is we follow the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 99.11. And then what we do is we come right here to this 101.64. That is your 8-day. Okay. So again, we got to see how this is all going to shake out. Now, you remember, 45, this is not overbought or oversold. This has a ways to go down. The green crossed over your red situation. So right now we have ourselves a nice big red candle. Let's just see how this all going to be shaken out here, okay? So give it time. Let's just play out. Let's watch that EIA report there at 10:30 and pay attention to the news if you are an oil trader, okay? Exactly. But if we can hold that 50-day, that could be also a buying opportunity. Take it back up here, just like what the scenario that we had going on here, okay? So it came all the way to that, put a bottoming tail in there, and look at that nice run here, all the way from 78.97 all the way to that 110.93 level. Okay, so never just don't give up here on the long just yet. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we start closing below that 50-day, then as I say, then we could also jump in that short ski and we could take it all the way on down here and maybe even lower. However, let's just see how it all shakes out if everything is going to agree. Remember, you're dealing with Iran. It's a very, very regime. Of course, I don't really know. I never did figure out. I don't know if anybody else figured out exactly who you're dealing with. Okay, that's going to be a big key. Now, here on Brent, look at here, Brent. We had this sideways action here. It hit that 115.25 level. I was looking for this level right here at 115.10. So you came within 15 cents of that high level. Now you can see here how it cracked right through that 8-day down to the 21-day, and it hasn't even hit the 50-day yet. Okay, so what we're watching here on the downside is watch this 50-day. Very, very key, 98.99. Then we'll come down here to the bottom of the candle, 96.54. We have 93.87. We come down here to the bottom there at 92.77. We'll venture down to the bottom of this candle at 90.01. And then we have your retest down here, 86.08. We lose that. Obviously, you have your 100-day and we have your 200 SMA. Now, back on the upside, if right here, got to get back right above this key 21-day, 102.01. That's going to be very, very key. Now, we get above that, then we'll come right here. You're looking at 103.27, and then we have 105.66. We have 106.27, and then we'll be looking for that 108.66 level. Okay, that's going to be your nice, good 8 SMA here. Obviously, if we get above that, then we can look at today's high, 110.45. We retest that 115.25. So again, if this comes all the way down here and holds that 21-day or even that 50-day, this could still be a good buying opportunity to take it back up. But again, it's all about the news and what's going to be going on with that war situation. Now, 47, this is not overbought, oversold. The green is over your red. So this is actually looking very, very good here. If we can hold this level here, we could really take it up. Now, again, if we could come break this 50-day, we could come right down to that 86 level. The same way here on WTI, you could come down to the 78. And what that would do, that would really, really relieve a lot of pressure at the old gas pump for a lot of people here, okay, situation. And then, you know what I'm saying, if we can get that rolling again, get those gas prices down here, because that affects everybody, and that would be also very good. But give it time. You know, we've been through this before, the situation. Right here, we've been through this before, okay? Right here, we've been through this before, so let's just see if we're going to go through that again. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have the old natural gas. Now, let me just bigger up here a little bit for you, okay? There we go. Now you're talking. Okay, now you can see here how important that 50-day SMA was. Okay, so we went right into that 50-day, and then we have that, always put that price channel on, 288. Where do we go? Right into the 288. Okay, so all that 288 is just the top of this candle right here. Always look to the left of the chart, went right into it. Very, very strong resistance. Now, yesterday we made this, this is pretty much the same thing, into the 50-day, couldn't hold it. And now today, look at there, we sold off, but look how nice we're holding that 8-day. Okay, see, so that 8-day is going to be key. So you're looking at the downside, we're looking at that 2.72 level. That's going to be very, very key. Your next level is going to be 2.67. You have to hold that 8-day and that 21-day. Now, natural gas is coming off probably with sympathy with crude oil, kind of a situation. They kind of work in tandem a lot of times. So this is coming right on off here. So just watch this here. Watch that right there, that 8-day. 272, and then the 21-day. Now, if we start losing that here, then we're going to come right down here to 261. We'll come down here at 259. We have 256, and then we have your retest 249. Very, very easy, very, very simple. Now, what I don't like about this is, look at here again. Okay, there's that 8-day. Look at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks now. Okay, look at it, 8-day. We popped above it. Looked like she was going to rally up here, go up to that 100-day. Look at here. Okay, 279. Now we're sitting at 275. So on the upside, we want to watch that 279. You got to get back above that 279. If we do, then here's your target right there. Is going to be 286. And then we have your target there at 288, which is basically your retest, which hit it very, very nicely. Okay, see how that is? Boom, double top, and now she's coming off. Now, if we keep it on rolling, well, we can come up to this level. Let's bring that price channel right across here. You got 305. We come up here at 315, and then we'll be looking right here at that 326 level, okay? Right above it is 329. Now, you can see here how the 8-day crossed over 21 days, which is looking very good. And so far, it's holding, okay? So that's the beauty of it. It went right up to the 50-day, couldn't get through. Now it comes down to the 8-day. So right now, what you're trading is basically the pinball action here between this 8-day and that 50-day. You break out, we have that 288, and then we can start going to that 305. If we lose that 8-day, then we can come right down here, 267. Now we lose that, then we're going to come down here. We could probably retest that whole scenario. So bottom line here is just a good trading situation. We had this nice big downtrend, okay, came around down, popped up here, couldn't do anything, and then we finally had that nice good rally, came right up here. But you got to really watch these simple moving averages, okay? This is why you trade the charts. Very, very strong resistance there on the 50-day and on the retest on that 288 here, okay? Now, this is not overbought, oversold. The green is still over your red. I do like this on the bottom. Natural gas will have its day again, so you don't have to really worry about it, because if you get a nice hot summer, what are you going to need? Air conditioners, power plants, okay? Pretty simple, okay? So bottom line here, watch the 8-day, watch the 21-day. That's your key support level. Upside, watch this 8-day right here on the weekly, and then watch that 50-day. Once we crack above it, then we have some really nice targets. Okay, let's take a look and see what gold is doing. Okay, here we have gold. Now, you can see here how gold really likes the old ceasefire and maybe possible into the war kind of a situation. Okay, and I think Bitcoin, we'll take a look at that next. And I think that's going to be the same kind of a situation. Okay, so right now here we had this, we were holding this key level right down here at the bottom. We just looked at that 45.10. Yesterday we put an inside day in, and now look at today. Higher high, higher low, right through the 8-day, but where to go? Right into the old catch-all at that 21-day. Okay, so 47, 20, very, very key level. Next level is going to be right here. It's going to be 47.76, and then we're going to have, I think this right here is 47.79, and then we have your 48.14 level. Okay, we crack above that. Here's your target. Retest at 49.17 level. Very, very easy. But you can see here how nice these charts work is once we crack through that 8-day, where to go? right into that 21-day and look at the stop to cold. So what you do here on these charts is you always trade level to level to level. That's how you trade it, okay? Now, easy way to trade this is GLD. I only trade on the long side. So this is a really, really nice trade. And you can trade those 24/6. Sunday nights, 8 p.m., all the way to Friday night, 8 p.m. So that's what you're watching. Now, on the downside, we're going to be watching a couple key levels here. We're going to be watching right here. We're going to watch this 8-day at 46.75. Okay, we need to hold that again. That's going to be key. And then we look at this 8-day here, 46.17. Then we can look at today's low at 45.56, and then your 45.10 level. That is going to be your retest here of this sideways consolidation. Now 50, that's got plenty of room to run here. The green is over your red. Okay, this here is still downtrending situation because obviously we're seeing a downtrend, and we have sideways action. But again, we have some really, really nice. These charts are setting up very, very nicely here for the upside, maybe a nice good upside move. But you got to crack that key 47.20, and we got to crack this right here 47.79. Once we do, then we have the 100-day to 50-day. But once you crack that, nice 49.17. Okay, let's take a look at silver. Okay, silver, same thing, following the gold. Okay, now what we're doing yesterday, when we sold down, we are holding that 8-day here so far for the week here on a closing basis. We're holding that 8-day. Now I can see we're really well above it, and we're looking for that 21-day at 79.70 level. Okay, so when we look here on the daily, okay, right here, went through the 8-day, went through the 21-day, right into that 50 SMA. Look at that, see, right there, 77.78, very, very nicely, okay? So we have to crack these numbers, okay? So you have to crack that 77.78, and then we have to crack that 79.70. That's going to be very key, and we have this 100-day at 79.74, okay? So that is going to be your upside resistance. So just say, okay, 50-day, okay, 21-day on the weekly, and the old 100-day on the old daily chart here, okay? Once we kind of break it above that, then we have that retest of 83.24. Now you can see silver is like gold. It likes that kind of a end of war situation. And if it does, this can rally up very, very nicely. Now remember, silver is going to be a big, big factor in all these data centers. So just pay attention to all this here. Easy way I trade this is SLV. I'm long here, the SLV here. And I also trade it. Now the SLV is up here over 4 points there today and looking very, very nice here to go higher, possibly retest at 83. Now, if we can take that 83.24 level out of the situation, then we just march it right on up here, 85.62, 87.69, and we come up here, 89.70, and then we have 90.38 level, okay? Then we can come all the way up to the top of there at 91.60, and your big retest at 97.30. But we have a couple simple moving averages that we have to get through with that 50 to 100-day and this 21-day. Now, on the downside here, got to watch that 21-day. That's going to be your key support, 76.20, and then we'll be watching 74.40. That's your 8-day, and then we're always going to be watching this 8-day here, 74.64 by Friday, because this is a weekly chart. Okay, so we have nice, good, plenty of room to run, sideways action here. So actually, this is looking pretty good here. But again, let's not get too excited. Okay, you have one good day, but remember, we're into a lot of resistance. Okay, let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin looking very, very nice. Now, when we were way down here, I said, we had the sideways consolidation and then it dropped right on down. Couldn't even get through that 21-day. I said it could happen here, but obviously it didn't. I said that the key level is going to be getting above this 21-day, which we are now clearly above. Okay, so as we're rolling up here, okay, I always pointed out here this gap fill, which now we filled this gap. Okay, so today so far we made this high of 82.615 levels. Okay, so what we're looking for next here is look at the bottom of that candle. 83.210. That's going to be next target. And then we'll look to the top here, okay, 84.945. And then we'll look right to the bottom there, okay, at 85.900. And then we'll look to the bottom here at 87.210. And then here's the target that I've been pointing out here now for I don't know how many weeks is this 88.442 level. Now, we got to see what the reaction is. If it gets to that area, does it blast through? Does it hold it? What goes on? If it can blast through here, your big target is going to be right there at that 93, their 200-day, and this 50 SMA here at 95. Now, I just think Bitcoin's going to have his day again. Now, we have a nice, good uptrending chart situation, okay? Looking very, very good. Now, I'm long the BITX. Simple reason is this, okay? So, when it jumped above here, I got long here because we were holding the 8-day. As soon as we lost that 8-day, I'm out. Okay, now I'm long and I also trade it. Okay, once we got back above it, I'm back long again and I also trade it. Now you can see how we're rallying right up here. Got to be a little careful. We're at that 70 mark, but that can stay overbought for a long time. So don't get too excited here. This thing can rally right on up here very, very nicely. But my big target, as I'm still looking for, is 88.442. And we'll see what happens when it gets to that 100-day, if it gets there. Okay, now on the downside here, we always want to come right across, and we're looking at the top of this 79,930 level. Then we'll be looking here for that 8-day at 78,764. Then we have your 100-day at 77,901. Then we have your 21-day at 77,765 level. We lose that, we have your 21-day here, and obviously your 50 SMA. But look at this 8-day. Crossed over, hey? Now we crossed over to 100-day, okay? Last night, I say watch those futures. It crossed over there. Nice, good, clean cross. Now, even if it comes down, as long as we hold that 100-day or that 8-day, we're doing very, very good here. This could still rally up here. Very, very nice. But I'm just looking at, it just looks like it just wants to go higher. So I'm just long, and I'm also trading it daily. Okay, 50, nice. Very, very good. Plenty of room to run. Green is over your red here, and I like that where we're at the bottom here on a weekly. That gives us plenty of room to run. So this is my target. We'll see if it hits it. Okay, let's take a look here now at Ethereum. Okay, now you can see Ethereum is not doing as good as Bitcoin. Okay, we have the same kind of an uptrending chart here, but we're just not there yet. Okay, so really on the upside, this is what you're watching, 24,555. Okay, that's what we're watching. We have this 21-day right here at 24.37, and you can see here where we're kind of stuck right there. Okay, but realistically here, once we get above this key level here, then we can hit for that 100-day. What we're really looking for is this retest of 24.72. Okay, once we can crack that retest at 24.72, that's going to be, this is going to be your target, is right here, 26.41. That's going to be your big target. That's the gap fill. Okay, then we can look at the bottom of that candle at 27.50. We look at the top of this candle right here at 28.34 level. Then we can head all the way up here to this 100-day at 29.26. Now on the downside here, you can see how it's holding up here pretty good. The 8-day never crossed over. Now we have this good sideways action. So this is going to be key. 23.21, that's your 8 and your 21-day. That's going to be big. As long as we're holding this, we got sideways to up action. But you can see here how we have to break out of that top, that 24.72. Once we break above that 100-day and this 200-day and the 21-day here on your weekly chart, once we crack above all of this here and we get above this price channel, then we got nice, good open air. Pretty much here we'll do the gap fill, but pretty much that's going to be my target, just like on Bitcoin, is going to be that 100 simple moving average. Okay, now look at here, 46, plenty of room, nice here. That's just starting off. This is still looking good, but it's just not doing as good as Bitcoin. Now I don't trade Ethereum, but I know my buddy Jet, he trades it, and I say we have to really, really crack through that 24.72. So that's what we're watching. We crack above that, then we have nice, good blue sky kind of a situation. And then on the downside, watch that 23.21. That is your support. All right, that's what I got for you. And remember, pay attention to the news today, especially on that oil here on EIA report there at 10:30. That's going to be a good mover. The market, the Nasdaq futures are up about 424 right now. AMD came out last night, just blowout numbers. Now, the one that you want to get into is going to be NVIDIA. Because remember, now NVIDIA is coming out on the 20th. So you want to make sure that you get in on that NVIDIA trade. Because if AMD blew away numbers, can you imagine what NVIDIA is going to be doing? All right, trade what's in front of you. Now what you want.